Kaiāulu group. Welcome to the Oʻahu Āina Inventory presentation. This morning's session will focus on the Waiʻanae Moku with a specific focus on Waiʻanae Uka, Waiʻanae Kai, and Lualuale. Mahalo to each of you for your presence today in the unveiling of this amazing KS Kaiāulu tool. KS Kaiāulu, community, for the community, by community, in community, bringing community experiences and valuable resources to all. Today, you will gain access to Oahu's past and present cultural landscape through the innovative Āina Inventory that combines a synthesis of historical research, ethnographic information, wahi kūpuna data, and stewardship efforts in each moku of Oahu, today being the Waiʻanae Moku. The inventory is a free resource to use in classrooms, programs, organizations, and with your own ʻohana. A special mahalo to the dedication and support of our KS community at large for making this dream a reality. Nalani Kealaiki, Lisa Takasuki, Ryan Gonzalez, Andreas Arvman, Andrea Oka, Crystal Kua, Mark Milligan, Ua Keaulana, and all within our KS ʻohana. An extra mahalo to our fabulous partnership with Nohopapa, Kelly, Dominique, Lilia, and the many hands of their team for the extraordinary time, support, and dedication as well. At this time, we will begin our formal presentation, and I will now hand the floor to Kelly from Nohopapa. Mahalo to all, and enjoy your time.
Mahalo nui, aloha, aloha kako. My name is Kelly Uyoka, founder and principal with Nohopapa, Hawaii. Really wonderful to see you guys here this morning. I see some repeats that were with us on Wednesday, so really awesome to see that you're ono for some more. Before we get into kind of the meat and the EO of this presentation, which will be the story map itself and some of our resources, I just wanted to share a little bit about our organization, Nohopapa, Hawaii. We're a Native Hawaiian-owned cultural heritage stewardship social enterprise founded in 2013 by Dr. Keikoa Kikiloy and myself. We're a mission-driven organization whose goal is to really transform the way culture resource management and archaeology has been conducted in our island home. Nohopapa's Indigenous lens and our methodology, combined with our high-quality work standards, really foster community-based approaches to research that aims to build trust and empower our Kaiāulu and ʻāina. Our local committed team lives and works across the Paiʻaina on a range of projects, including preservation and restoration plans, ethnohistorical studies, cultural impact assessments, educational programs, and wahi hoʻola and ʻāina inventories, like the project we're going to share about today. We partner with like-minded clients and community organizations like Kamehamhea schools with similar values and missions of truly stewarding and preserving our ʻike kūpuna and wahi kūpuna. We work with clients and partners to innovate proactive approaches to wahi kūpuna stewardship that better care for our ʻāina and lahui. A little bit about the project background and kind of purpose. When we kicked this project off 5 years ago now in 2017, I remember talking with Nalani at KS about the current situation of the kulas in Ewa and Waiʻanae, where the haumana would get on a bus and go on huaka'i over the mountains to the other side of Oʻahu and experience local i'a at Paipaiʻohe or Lo'ikalo at Punalu'u, which is wonderful and great, but they were really missing out on making that connection and building that pilina to these wahipana in their own backyards, in their own ahupua, in their own moku. So really a big motivation for creating this inventory was to really help foster these connections and this pilina between people and their places by developing a user-friendly, high-level synthesis of mo'olelo, historical information, current community organizational data, and maps of wahi kūpuna and kula locations to highlight the intersection between our ancestral places, local stewardship efforts happening on the ground, and educational institutions. So really the project objectives were to create this waihona, a baseline of cultural information, really a starting point to be built upon to aid in the development of Hawaiian cultural and ʻāina-based curriculum, to build resources and digital tools that are easily accessible to everybody, to develop synergies between our storied places, educators, haumana, and our ʻāina stewards in the different moku throughout Oʻahu, and to create learning experiences that really center on ʻāina and community-based connections. In terms of our methodology, the Āina Inventories incorporate a high-level synthesis of ethnohistorical research, wahi kūpuna data, and the current stewardship and restoration efforts taking place in the moku to create a richer and deeper understanding of the moku's historical and contemporary cultural landscape. Ethnohistorical research was conducted to gather relevant information on selected mo'olelo about specific wahi pana, wahi kūpuna, and other cultural and natural resources, including an analysis of historical maps, historical photos, and reports. Community engagement efforts included survey questionnaires regarding the community organizational information, their mission and vision, services offered, target audience, partnerships, and desires for potential new opportunities. Over the years, the focus of these community surveys have changed to align with Kamehamhea School's educational and stewardship goals and how they can best support these organizations. And lastly, GIS maps like the one you see here on the slide were produced with information contributing to the Cultural Landscape Inventory and ArcGIS with relevant data mapped as shapefiles. Information for these maps included place names, cultural and historical sites, and significant natural resources. Our very first study was the Āina Inventory, which we shared about yesterday. And then we moved on to Kona, Waiʻanae, and the Ko'olaus, and we recently just finished Wailua, so 5 studies in total. And over these years, we worked on these studies that we were able to reach out to 179 organizations and individuals across Oʻahu to participate in this initiative. We also mapped out 76 ahupua'a, 15 palena, locations of over 500 biocultural resources, and produced over 250 unique place-based maps that visually show a range of valuable data. Some of the results of the Āina Inventory have been an increase in Hawaiian cultural and ʻāina resources that are easily accessible for educators and communities to tap into, as well as the creation of stronger moku-wide networks to support community engagement opportunities for learners and place-based organizations. And while a considerable amount of research was conducted for this project, we wanted to note that this study does not represent an exhaustive examination of information relating to the moku and ahupua'a of Oʻahu. Other information has yet to be researched and analyzed, including untranslated Hawaiian Nupepa, additional Mahele ʻāina documents, and the untapped memories and recollections of our kūpuna. So this study really should be considered a summary overview of the cultural, natural, historic, and contemporary community landscapes of Oʻahu, and a compilation of currently available and accessible resources for these moku. Everyone here is encouraged to expand upon the resources and information compiled in these inventories to further broaden our collective ike and understanding of these moku. We hope this study will motivate other hui, kia'i educators, haumana, and community members to research, document, and continue to pass on the mo'olelo and memories of these unique wahi pana on Oʻahu, and to engage in educational and stewardship of these places. So now, without further ado, we'll get into the showcasing and the tutorial of our beautiful story map, as well as how to access all of these wonderful resources online. So I'll turn it over to Lilia. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Kelly. Yep, so as I'm transitioning us over from the PowerPoint to the story map, if you're not using your phone, there is this QR code here on the right that you can scan with your phone, and you can swipe along if you want. You can also type in one of these links above, and you can view the story map directly on your own desktop. Click around as I talk. The story map lives both on Nohopapa's website as well as Kamehamhea School's website. So I'm gonna show you that real quick. Here we go. So if you go to www.ksbe.edu/ʻāina/maps/Oʻahu-ʻāina inventories, you'll see an embed of this story map along with, if we scroll down, tabs to access the various chapters of the reports. if you go to www.nohopapa.com, it lives under our projects. So if you click on projects, go to Oʻahu, excuse me. You can click on Āina Inventory. And again, you'll see the same story map embedded here as well. And I believe these links are going to be posted in the chat. But as Kelly shared, my name is Lilia. No wailua puna Kauaʻi Maiau. I work as the Cultural Research and Tech Specialist for Nohopapa, Hawaii. And I've had the honor of being able to do some of the research for these reports throughout the years. And I also helped build this Āina Inventory story map that I am super excited to share with you guys today. So before I jump into it, I just briefly wanted to share what is a story map. For those of you who don't know or haven't seen one of these things before, it's a super great resource or tool. Story maps work on the web, and they combine interactive maps that are hosted on Esri's cloud service, ArcGIS Online, with multimedia content. So photos, videos, audio, and text, of course, to help tell stories about the world. They work on a variety of screens. So they're responsive on small and medium-sized screens. This software also incorporates interactive builders, which make creating a story map relatively easy and also customizable for the type of story that you're trying to tell. Just a little bit about data management. The story maps are hosted on Esri on ArcGIS Online, just as the maps within them that you're going to see are. That doesn't mean that Esri claims any kind of ownership. It's just kind of a place to park the content, and then you can embed all kinds of things like links and do all sorts of stuff with the content. So if you're following along with me, we're going to go ahead and scroll down on the story map. There is a brief overview of the project up at the top, and then there's a little disclaimer here at the bottom. If you keep scrolling, we're going to come to this box, and you notice the maps in the back are also going to change as you scroll. So as Kelly mentioned, the Oʻahu Āina Inventory is comprised of 5 studies, 1 for each moku or district. The story map showcases each of the reports and the individual chapters within these reports and the maps within the reports, but kind of like more in an interactive way. So to test drive this story map together, I'm going to show you some of its features. If you come up here to this gray line, this is your navigation bar. It allows you to jump from link to link or from report to report. Again, all the maps you see here are interactive. So if you look here if going over to here on the right, you can zoom in and out using this plus and minus button. And then if you click on any one of these maps, you can click on it to get more information. But I'm going to go ahead and zoom out, come back up to this box. So if you click here on the navigation bar on Waiʻanae, or if you go down to the box and click on Moku, Waiʻanae Moku, we're going to jump on over to the Waiʻanae report. And here it gives you kind of a short introduction or overview of the report. If you look just below the report cover here on the right, there's a little link and you can access the full report. What I think is really cool about this story map is that if you see this chain icon here, you can actually copy this section of the report and you can send it to somebody and it'll send them directly there. Alrighty, so scrolling on down, gonna make our way to the fun stuff. If you look, so here what we have is an interactive explore map. It allows you to go all over the place. So if you look on the column on the left, there's these little boxes that open up. If you click on the Waiʻanae Moku, we have some cool features to show you. At the top, you can click on this map right here, which shows you the regions within Waiʻanae. You can also right-click to save the map. And then if you click on this thing again, it'll take you right on out. Right below this, there are 2 buttons. One is, so both buttons allow you to download certain maps. So one is the Waiʻanae Kula map, and the other one is the Waiʻanae Community Sites map. So we're gonna go ahead and look at one of these, it'll take you to here, and then it should open it up. There we go. So looking at the Waiʻanae Kula map or schools map, it was last updated in 2022. You can see that there are different colors. Let me zoom in for you to check this thing out. So you can see that there's different colors which represent different grade levels. So the blue represents preschool, the green represents elementary school, the yellow represents middle school, purple is K through 12, and the pink is college. The shapes also tell you what type of school it is. So star is preschool, square is DOE, and circle is private. But as Kelly mentioned, most of the haumana don't know what ahupua'a their kula is in. So it's really cool because these maps allow you to find their kula and see where they're located and what's around them. Going back over to the story map. Where are we? Going back over to the story map. If you click on this button here, we're going to go over to the Waiʻanae community sites map. And we're going to download that one as well. And so this community sites map it shows you various organizations and work sites throughout Waiʻanae. And something that I wanted to mention is both maps have these numbers. And so in the report, you can find the keys to the names of the schools and the community groups that correlate to the numbers and the names that the numbers that you see here. And again, both are downloadable, and then they're also dated, so you know when they were last updated. Okay, going back to the story map, I'm going to hit this X button. This X button zooms us back out. On the right-hand side, we have this cool interactive map. This is kind of like my favorite thing right here. And so, and this map, if you click on these different tabs, it allows you to jump from ahupua'a to ahupua'a. And the interactive map also shows you streams and pu'u, and that was done intentionally. But as you click through, if you've noticed already, the window pane on the left changes to the ahupua'a that you're in. So if you're on the story map on your own device, click around, check it out. But as you're going, I am going to jump on over to Waiʻanae, since that's the focus for today. And so again, at the top for each one of these little sections that expand, if you click on it, there's a Wahipana map that opens up. And so for this Wahipana map, it includes all the place themes that were selected in the study. Again, you can right click and save, or maybe you can get the Kula map and line them up next to each other. Super cool. And then double click out of, if you click on it again, it'll take you out of it. If you scroll down, there's a very short chapter summary of the chapter. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, there is a button. And here, if you click on this button, it's going to take you to our Nohopapa website, and it'll allow you to download this one chapter. So we're going to take a look at, or just going to take a peek at one chapter, just one chapter of this entire report together. So I believe it's downloaded. I am going to change the view for you folks to see. Okay, here we go. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at just one report. So at the top, all of these reports start with an olelo no'eau. It's a weird view. It's not the olelo no'eau, but we just thought it was fitting for this chapter. There are, of course, many more. The report also goes through, it goes through a cultural landscape overview. So we do a breakdown of place name. If you've been to our other presentation, this chapter is a little bit different from the other ones that you've seen so far. We've split Waiʻanae Ahupua'a up into 3 different palena. So this one's a little bit more chunkier. It's split into Lualualei, Waiʻanae Uka, and Waiʻanae Kai. So the palena of Waiʻanae Uka underwent historical boundary changes in 1909 and 1913. And Lualualei, although it's not named in the Mahele book, is considered an ili of Waiʻanae. This region holds significance in Hawaiian history, being a central habitation on leeward Oʻahu. The name Waiʻanae is associated with an abundance of mullet, reflecting the richness of the coastal waters. Lualualei is a large valley within Waiʻanae and has historical importance with multiple interpretations of its name. It was densely populated, and it had habitation areas, dryland fields, notable landmarks. The Waiʻanae Uka section was a major hub for kalo production, large lo'i, house complexes, and Waiʻanae Kai, the lower section, was also known for its settlement concentration, abundant lo'i, poi, and fish. A coastal trail connected Lualualei and to Makaha and served as a major route traditionally. And Waiʻanae also housed a pu'uhonua, or a place of refuge, notably as kavivi, which provided safety during times of war. Scrolling on down we have some more maps for you to check out. But scrolling on down to the Mo'olelo section, compared to other ahupua'a in the district, Waiʻanae and its palena, so Waiʻanae Uka, Waiʻanae Kai, and Lualualei were rich in Mo'olelo, and include references to the god Kane, Haumea, the goddess Kaiona, the demigods Maui, Kamapua'a, the prophet Ka'opulupulu, the Io man, Puhinalo, various chiefs like Olopana, Kavelo, Halemano, and Kuali'i. And there's other wahipana or wahi kūpuna mentioned in these mo'olelo that include kualaka'i. So scrolling down some more, we have the wahipana table. And so this place name table includes, let me get a better view of this for you. There you go. This place name table includes the name, the inoa, the type, a short translation, and then some comments or notes, so either about the mo'olelo or other details. Many of these mo'olelo that I talked about, they highlight various wahi kūpuna throughout the ahupua'a. So pu'uohulu, kolekole, kalakula, kavivi, pokai, pu'ukahea, pu'u, nenu, and then mauna lahi lahi. There's also other wahi kūpuna in Waiʻanae ahupua'a, which is like kaikioe heao, kapuhawai, ma'ili'ili, maui, ni'oi ula, just to name a few. In this chapter, we also include, let me scroll down some more. We also have some historic photos to take you back in time. And then we also include some mele. These mele are pili to that ahupua'a. So here we have some related to Lihue, Lualualei, and Waiʻanae. Moving on down in this chapter, this last sort of section is the community groups, which I think is also really great resource. In Waiʻanae, there are many community groups. So there's Ma'o Farms, Ho'aike, Institute for Native Pacific Education and Culture, Kahumana Food Hub, and Organic Farms. But what I think is really awesome about this section is that, or what I really like, are these tables. And these tables share contact information, where they're located, information about the organization, and they also provide places that they malama. At the bottom, we also have some extra resources. Which reminds me, flipping back to this story map, sorry, I know we're jumping all over the place. I'm gonna hit this X button here to zoom out. But I just wanted to share that this chapter is just one of the 8 chapters found within the Waiʻanae Inventory report. There are also 4 other reports to look at as well, or to explore for Oʻahu. I'm gonna show you a couple more things. So scrolling down one more time. Apart from the report, the story map, we wanted to share or provide a table of what we think are really cool extra resources for the community checkout. some of which were used within the research of this study, and they generally cover most of the Waiʻanae moku. The last thing I wanted to share, if you go back up to your navigation bar, you click on methods. These are the methods that Kelly shared kind of very vaguely or shortly previously, but you can use this arrow on both sides and allows you to scroll through some of our methods so you can see what we did to create some of these reports on the story map. But I just wanted to share the purpose of the Āina Inventory story map is not to just collect all of this documentation and report, have it live on a shelf, but to make it more accessible, to really relearn about these spaces and places, to connect people back to these places. And although these studies only begin to scratch the surface, as Kelly mentioned, the hope is to help reestablish these connections, to give people a starting place to do deeper research. And for Nohopapa, we want to be able to continue to assist and support our communities by providing this level of research, these tools, and our expertise to support their kuleana to malama, these spaces and places. Yep, and with that, I will pass it back to KS for any closing mana'o. Mahalo.
Aloha mai kākou, o wau o Lisa. Just wanted to mahalo everyone for coming today. We have our chat box that is open. This is the time now for questions and answers, any wonderings, or even comments. Feel free to drop that in the chat, and we will be able to hopefully give you more information or answer your question. So we will give that a minute. In the meantime, if you don't have a question, but want to let us know where you are joining us from, feel free to drop that in the chat as well. Okay, Paula has a question about over time, how does the information get updated?
Aloha, Paula. Mahalo for your need now. While I'm kind of sharing a little bit, maybe Livia can pull up the feature on our website, how you can share mana'o with us, or something you see, something you're more ono for, even something like, oh, I didn't realize, I thought this was here or something. So we do have a feature on the Nohopapa website where you can provide mana'o. In terms of updating over time, as of now, our kind of kuleana with Kamehamhea schools is wrapped up. And so we've created this wonderful tool and we're passing it on to Kamehamhea schools to live on. We have not had any discussions if it could be, more of a living tool. We have talked a little bit about maybe going to another moku puni, which would be really exciting. So yeah, for Nohopapa's role, we don't have a lot we're going to be doing on top of this, and you'll see that there are some of the early ones. Eva was done in 2018, 19, so that definitely needs to be updated. There were a lot of not a lot, but there were some community organizations that didn't participate, in the surveys. There are new community organizations, so it would be wonderful if there was an opportunity to have this more living and evolving. But right now, there's nothing really in the works, unless Lisa knows of something internally at KS that would support this.
Hello, Kelly. And yeah, just to tack on to what Kelly shared. So if you go again to our nohopapa.com website, and you scroll over to the Āina Inventory report. So this one is the Waiʻanae one. Coming on down to the bottom, we have a feedback form or a mana'o form. So if there's anything that you see or something you'd like to share with us, this is how we're collecting mana'o for each of these reports. And it gets shuffled into a fun little database thing that we can look at. But something else that I wanted to share, I think I briefly mentioned it, although, yeah, about updating. just to make note, a lot of the maps and stuff, like Kelly had said, you know, each report was done in a different year. So we did put a label on what year it was last updated. So hopefully that helps with the latest version of whatever each one of these is. Okay, I'm gonna stop share now.
Yep, thank you. I don't know of any future plans at the moment, but KS and Nohopapa, we have a strong relationship. So the feedback is going to go into a form for Nohopapa. If there are, I guess I would say like maybe substantive changes or huge pockets that we've missed or just didn't realize, I think we can go back to the drawing board and see, you know, what would it take to update? How might we do that in a timely manner? But again, that would be coming later based on maybe community feedback through that form that Lilia mentioned. Okay, Elaine did have a question too about the following presentations. Today, they are happening at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. They are covering Ko'olau at 11 and Waialua at 1 p.m. They are going to be slightly similar in the beginning. And then as Lilia takes us into chapters and maps and clicking and downloading and links, those will be the different chapters based on Ko'olau and then Waialua. So if you want to join us, feel free to join us later today for those two presentations.
And if you're, I know I don't seem like it, but if you're shy like me, please feel free to reach out to us. You can message us at info@nohopapa.com.